A Maryland dad, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is ripped from his family, deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador, even though a judge said he shouldn't be. Meanwhile, federal judges are getting pizzas sent to their homes anonymously. Sounds like intimidation, right? And then you've got Trump and his allies, from the White House to social media, calling judges corrupt and demanding their impeachment. Why are courts blocking Trump's plans? Is he defying the Constitution? Are we in a full-blown constitutional crisis, or is this just politics as usual? We'll explore every one of these questions in this video. Let's start from the beginning. Hey everyone, I'm Kundan Yashputra and welcome to NextGen Now. Let's set the scene. It's 2025 and Donald Trump is back in the White House, pushing boundaries like never before. Since January 20th, 2025, he's signed dozens of executive orders, over 50 according to NPR on February 12, 2025, targeting everything from mass deportations to firing federal workers en masse. It's like he's driving a bulldozer through the government, trying to reshape it in his image. But the courts? They're like a brick wall, slamming on the brakes with at least 25 nationwide injunctions by late April, as reported by the Congressional Research Service. These are temporary halts on Trump's actions, from deporting immigrants to freezing billions in federal funds. Take Kilmar's story. He's a husband, a father, living in Maryland for 14 years. Back in 2011, he came to the U.S. illegally but got a protective order from an immigration judge because returning to El Salvador meant facing death or torture from gangs, according to NPR on April 19, 2025. Fast forward to March 15, 2025, Trump's team invokes a 1798 law called the Alien Enemies Act to deport him and 200 others, claiming they're gang members. No hearing, no due process. But here's the kicker. A federal judge, James Boasberg, ordered those deportation flights to turn around that same day, as reported by The Conversation on March 19, 2025. The planes kept going. The Supreme Court stepped in on April 7th, saying, "Bring Kilmar back." Trump's response? He's still in a Salvadoran prison, and Trump's team says it's El Salvador's call, not theirs. This isn't just about one man. It's like a chess game where the king, Trump, says he doesn't have to follow the rules. The courts are saying, hold up, you can't just move your knight across the board like that. The Constitution splits power between three branches. The president executes laws, Congress makes them, and courts interpret them. When one branch, like the executive, ignores the others, it's like pulling a thread from a sweater. It might unravel the whole thing. Legal scholars like Erwin Chemerinsky from UC Berkeley, quoted in the New York Times on February 12, 2025, say we're already in a constitutional crisis because Trump's actions are systematically unconstitutional. Let's break it down with a timeline. On January 20, 2025, Trump takes office and starts firing off executive orders. By February, he's trying to end birthright citizenship, guaranteed by the 14th Amendment, and freeze federal funds Congress already approved. A Rhode Island judge, John McConnell Jr., blocks that freeze on January 31st, saying it's unconstitutional, per Al Jazeera on April 16, 2025. In March, Trump uses the Alien Enemies Act, a wartime law from 1798, to deport people without hearings. Judge Boasberg halts those deportations, but Trump's team pushes forward anyway. By April, the Supreme Court steps in, ordering Kilmar's return. On May 21st, Judge Brian Murphy in Boston rules Trump's team unquestionably violated his order by deporting people to the wrong countries, according to USA Today on May 25th, 2025. And on May 23rd, Judge Susan Ilston in San Francisco blocks Trump's mass layoffs of federal workers, calling it an overreach, as reported by CNN. But Trump's not backing down. He's called judges radical and incompetent on social media, like his May 11th post cited by USA Today. His allies, like Steve Bannon, are predicting a cataclysmic summer, as he said on his podcast, per NPR on April 19, 2025. Vice President J.D. Vance even told the New York Times on May 23, 2025, that courts are overturning the will of the American people. It's like they're saying, we won the election, so we get to do whatever we want. But here's the thing, the Constitution doesn't work that way. Even Trump-appointed judges like Fernando Rodriguez in Texas have ruled against him, blocking his use of the Alien Enemies Act, as noted in USA Today. Now, let's talk about the pressure on judges, pizzas showing up at their homes. That's not just creepy, it's a signal. The Article 3 Project, a Trump-aligned group, organized 164,000 calls and messages to Congress pushing to impeach judges like Boasberg, according to USA Today on May 25, 2025. They're also backing bills from Senator Chuck Grassley and Representative Darrell Issa to stop judges from issuing nationwide injunctions. Chief Justice John Roberts, in a rare statement on March 18, 2025, called out this impeachment talk, saying it's not how the system works, per the conversation. So, are we in a constitutional crisis? It's like a pot on the stove, as NPR's Nina Totenberg put it on April 19, 2025. A few months ago, the flame was medium, but now it's inching toward high. A crisis happens when one branch, like the president, flagrantly ignores the others, and the system can't resolve it. Some, like Senator Adam Schiff, say we're already there because Trump's defying court orders. Others, like law professor Kristen Hickman, say we're not quite at the breaking point yet because Trump's still appealing rulings, per NPR on February 12, 2025. Think of it like a family argument. If one person keeps ignoring the rules everyone agreed on, the whole house feels shaky. The courts are pushing back, but they don't have an army to enforce their orders. If Trump keeps saying, "I don't have to listen," and Congress, mostly Republicans, backs him up, what happens next? Legal experts like Amanda Frost from the University of Virginia, quoted in NPR on February 12, 2025, call this a constitutional stress test. If the system holds, great. If not, we're in uncharted territory. What's at stake? Due process, your right to a fair hearing before the government takes your life, liberty, or property, is guaranteed by the 5th and 14th Amendments. If Trump can deport Kilmar without a hearing, what's stopping him from targeting anyone else? As Justice Sonia Sotomayor warned in The Atlantic on April 14, 2025, this could apply to U.S. citizens too. And with talks of suspending habeas corpus, a right to challenge detention in court, it's like pulling the emergency brake on democracy. So, where do we go from here? The courts are fighting to hold the line, but they need Congress and the public to back them up. If Trump keeps pushing and his allies keep cheering, we might see a summer of chaos, as Bannon predicted. But you tell me, what do you think? Is this a crisis or just Trump being Trump? Have you seen this tension playing out where you live? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep this conversation going. Want more stories like this? Subscribe to NextGen Now for deep dives that break it all down like we're chatting over coffee. I'm Kundan Yashputra, and I'll see you in the next one.